Your inability to accept responsibility is causing a manifestation of immaturity in your life. Okay? Manifestation of immaturity, right? You are constantly going through the same things you've been going through, or similar situations, or recreations of the similar situations, because of your inability to accept the responsibility for the situation. Right? If you struggle to accept that things are sometimes your fault, right? Or a lot of times, or even that they're always your fault in a way that actually like you can grow from, right? I don't mean like feel so bad that you can never take action, right? But the simple fact is when you place blame elsewhere and you don't take any sort of action or initiative to make things different, you lose all your power. Like, you might as well just stop trying anything at that point if you're going to do that, consistently, right? If you can't accept the responsibility of a situation, it's just going to screw your head up. It's just going to screw your entire understanding of how things work. Because when we feel, I've made a video about this before, when we feel that something is in someone else's hands, that we can't control anything, we feel powerless, and it's obvious why. So we do this to ourselves though. We become so emotional of situations, and we feel the pain of the present in different situations, that we place blame, right? We give all our power away. We say, it's their fault. Oh, if they just weren't like that, if I just wasn't raised in this way, if I just didn't have this job, whatever it is, as soon as we give that power away, we lose sight of the real situation. We're putting our understanding of control on the outside, our understanding of being one with creation. We're putting that on the back burner, and we're just being emotional. And this is a major sign of immaturity in some sort of way. Right? So it's like we go down this path and we're like, man, I'm mature. I'm doing all the things I need to do. But something's still not working, right? I keep facing the same issue, the same recreated issue in different ways. You start to realize one very large cause of situations like this is your inability to accept that something was your fault. And that being a manifestation of your immaturity, of your immature sense of self in some way, shape, or form, that still places blame elsewhere more than keeping it inside, more than being willing to accept that it might be all your fault, and that you have to be the one to fix it, because nobody else is going to fix it for you. Right? But we're taught to look outside. Like in the society we live in, there's so much so, we lose accountability. We're just taught to look elsewhere for the solution to our problem, for the answer of why things happen, instead of looking inside, instead of looking at the reality of the situation and thinking about how can you fix it in a real way. That's not good. That's the lack of accountability. You go back 50 years in time, 100 years in time, that shit didn't happen. People were held more accountable. Right? Like, it was the societal conditioning that helped us have a higher standard. People were more higher on average, better on average at many different things. There was, whatever, I digress. I'm not going to get into that today. My point is that if we don't accept where we are and why we're there and how we got there, how could we ever expect to be mature enough to be in a situation of our own choosing? Now, you might think, oh, well, whatever, I've gotten to where I am already. Some people get lucky. Some people get lucky while still being that immature. For me, I've never been able to just be that immature person and still make progress. Like, I've struggled so much in different times, and I've grown through it. I'm completely grateful for all of it. It's not a complaint whatsoever. But, like, I've struggled so much in my life at different times, and it took me being responsible and accepting of why I was struggling to actually grow from it, learn from it, and get through it and make better of it. Like, I had to learn this very early on, like almost in everything I've done. It's like, it's your fault, dude. Don't blame it on anything else, because, then you just can't do anything about it, and that sucks. Right? Because you naturally fall into it. You naturally want to blame others. You naturally want to play the victim card at times. Right? It's no good. It doesn't help anybody. That victim, that inner child, it's the inner child or the ego playing that victim card. You got to heal it. You got to heal it, and you got to replace the patterns it has of placing blame elsewhere by accepting responsibility and taking action to get yourself out of those situations. And that comes from a higher connection. That comes from being connected and making the right actions in connection with that higher self, which you can do. Anybody can. We all should. But we lose sight of that. We're taught to lose sight of that once again. Guys, I hope you're getting something. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. We have to be more mature. We have to be accepting of reality and think about how can we make it better. But don't get me wrong. I don't mean you should accept, you should, again, beat yourself up or take so much responsibility that, you take all the weight off everybody else's and you do it all on your own. No, everybody has their job. Everybody has their purpose, right? But people have to know their purpose. People have to know the responsibilities that they have. So it's like, for example, running an organization, running some sort of business. You have to be rightful in your delegation of those other tasks and accept if you did that right or wrong. Accept whether or not you delegated it properly, so to where that person can actually fulfill that where they're at. And accept responsibility if you didn't do it properly, if you didn't delegate properly. Now, if you know someone can do something and they failed on it simply because of they're being lazy or maybe they got something going on, well, then you got to take your responsibility for accepting it rightfully. And this goes for anything, like in a relationship and, friends, like whatever, family. Meet people where they're at, but take responsibility for how you interact and actually be purposeful. And again, this comes back to the basis of being purposeful in our interaction, being purposeful in our actions altogether. We must love ourselves. We must love the world. We must love the people that are important to us and treat everybody the way we want to be treated, truthfully. The golden rule. Right? But don't let people stand on you. Don't let people walk over you. And more than anything, take that responsibility for the effect you have in whatever way it is. Because it's up to you to do so. And if you don't, well, many things can happen, right? And a lot of it comes back to karma, right? If you're constantly blaming everybody else for your issues, well, the universe is going to constantly continue to send back to you the fact that stuff always happens to you for other reasons. Like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, but here you go. Here's some more. Because you're failing to accept reality. You're failing to accept what you caused. And that's a big sin. That's a big issue. That's a big problem. That's a big lack of leadership. It's a lack of love. A lack of love is pretty much where all issues come from in a certain way. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, guys. If you got something, let me know. What your ideas are from this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's just have a great day. It's Monday. It's time to crush the motherfucking week. It's time to go get it and have a great day. Let's get it, guys.